comes through and washes us away.
Here we are.
Hallelujah.
Howdy, everybody.
It's that time again.
It is. Comes around every month. Sometimes
What
twice.
that's like.
James from Dundas. He is the first one and gets the cookie.
All right.
Classic model O scale trains. Howdy. John from Schuylkill River. Joe Raider.
Joe!
Wiggy Wag. Trail Artist. There's Andy. How's it going, Andy?
Hey, Andy.
Across the pond. There's Floyd Robbins. Good evening.
Joe! I think we got them all.
I think so far.
I think so.
Not yet. I'll get it. Be patient. Nathan, how are you doing? Oh, man. Good to see everybody. About 11 people. Yeah, I figured it was you, Thomas, because you changed your name like I changed my socks.
He changed it again.
Yeah.
How am I? I am okay. I got a little bit of a chest cold. Plus, we're up here in the part of Pennsylvania that is getting washed away with all the rains and floods. And Wheeling's not that far from here. I mean, Wheeling got hit really hard.
Did they?
They're in Fairmont, West Virginia, too. But we got areas around here. They got not far from here. From my house, they had to evacuate a Girl Scout camp, and they had to rescue the Girl Scouts because they were on the other side of where it flooded. So, it's a lot of rains. It's real dark out there, like it's going to start again. So we'll go for round 3.
Hey, Anthony, good to see you.
Anthony, how's it going, my friend?
Kyle Stevens, howdy. Well, I am sorry you got a chest cold, Wilmer.
Yeah, it's just been one thing after another. I'm not gonna even bring you down from what way today has been. So, but anyhow, do you still get Pam mail? Does Robert too? Pam mail.
I don't know what
spam mail. Pam mail, spam mail, fan mail. I don't know. What do you mean by Pam mail, Nathan? What's a chest code? Cold. It's a cold. You know? Cold, non-infected audience. It's coming through cyber. It's a cyber chest code.
Now my computer's going to have a virus.
You got it.
Oh, fan mail.
Fan mail. Oh,
no, I don't get any fan mail.
Every once in a while I do.
Yeah, I guess on the odd occasion I do.
Every once in a while I get somebody that'll text me and said they enjoyed something and that I did years ago, and that that really makes you feel good when you get that.
Yeah.
That means that somebody's watching my playlists. Praise the Lord, you know. Oh, I know y'all like me. I'm just saying it's nice when you get a stranger that says, "Hey, I just discovered you."
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about. Am I going to Mr. Garlic's train layout? I haven't been there since train day, so I'm about due to go down there and visit, but I can't go if I have even an inkling of a cold because he has a lung condition, a bad one, and there ain't no way you want to get him sick because it'd be deadly. So I'm not going down there while I got a cold. So as soon as I shake the cold, I'll probably make a point to go down and visit him.
Good job, Kyle. Extended his layout, more operations. That's the way to do it. Ah,
So, how is your pulpwood cars coming? Well, the bulkhead flat cars that you converted into pulpwood cars.
supposedly the stuff will be here tomorrow.
The
The,
stuff.
the washers that I need for the trucks.
Oh, man, I wish I'd have known it's going to take that long. I'd have sent you some.
Oh, they went to Austin for some reason.
Oh,
I don't know why. It's just our inefficient post office.
yeah.
Don't get me started on the post office.
Don't think it's all post offices. I think it's just the Longview post office.
Oh, I had the same trouble when I lived in Charlottesville.
Maybe it's the Robert Johnson's post office.
That's right. They saw my name on the package and said, "Oh, send it somewhere else."
It's funny when you track them and you find out that they came from here would be like from Pittsburgh. You got something from Pittsburgh and it goes by way of Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
Before it comes here.
Well, like I said, I ordered something off of eBay and from New York. It ended up in Denver and stayed there for 3 months.
That's the first mistake. You used eBay. I hate
Well, it wasn't. It had nothing to do with eBay. It was the post office.
Yeah.
I mean, it was mailed like within 2 days, and it went to Denver and stayed there for 3 months. Why did it go to Denver?
I got there and decided to take a ride on the Durango in Silverton and liked it so much, just stayed. Evil Bay. You got that right. I have sent some money to a railroad that John from, let me put this on here, that John from School
River
Valley
that was
lives an hour away from you, I guess. I live 2 hours away from it. Oh, okay. The money will go to a steam engine to be restored. That's cool. That's cool. What kind of steam engine are they restoring, Nathan?
Yeah.
I sent my daughter. What the devil?
Took a ride on the Reading. It did not pass go, and it did not collect $200. That's what it was.
My aunt sent my daughter a graduation present on May 2nd, and it has yet to arrive.
Yeah.
You must have used the same post office that Robert uses.
Yeah, no kidding. GRE, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, that's post office is just inefficient. And just to think that 100 years ago, well, even less than that, 80 years ago, they were still doing a morning and an afternoon mail. And you could get a letter the next day from, 100 miles away.
I got to admit, our post office here is pretty decent. It really is. And I know my postal carrier is pretty terrific. You can tell when she's not working because my mail comes like 2 to 3 hours later.
Yeah. Hey, Randall, how you doing?
Pony Express was more efficient.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hi, Randall, how's it going, buddy? Enjoy your dinner. Hope you have a good night at work. Be safe out there, brother.
Royal Snail, yeah. All right, Andy.
Royal Snail, yeah. It's a tank engine. They're cool to look at. Yeah, I think I did see that text you sent to me now that you mention it.
Well,
that's a deep subject. You must be at the back of your shed tonight, huh?
I am.
Yeah.
Back of my shed. Because that's where I'm going to start painting.
I ain't never been in your shed, and I could tell that you were in the back of your shed.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Is it?
So I thought I'd do I have got to finish my track painting so I can start ballasting. And I've got big chunks of track that hasn't been painted. So I'm going to get that done tonight. That's what I'm going to do.
Robert's pack is on the now in existence KCS holiday train. What? Okay.
Probably my package is what he was saying.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Rusty, how you doing?
They probably are sending it by the new revised KCS. They got held up.
Those GE locomotives are way too late for my era.
Yeah.
In the 70s, KCS was only using EMD stuff. I think in 1970 they had an Alco they got rid of in 1970.
I want some watermelon.
Oh, I had some watermelon today. It was good.
I got some cantaloupe.
Yeah, no, autocorrect, spell correction on your phone. I know. It thinks it knows better. Yeah, Nathan, I would like if they painted a heritage unit. That would be nice. I doubt it'll happen though.
What, like like your 76 unit.
Either that or just a white one. If they painted a white one.
That'd be easy.
Yeah.
The white one would. But the
Yeah,
hair,
well, for the 250th anniversary, I'm sure that the railroads are going to be doing that, like they did at the 200th. So, hey, Tammy and Ray, how you doing? Ken Amos, how's it going? Yeah, so next year, I'm sure the railroads will be painting some. What is it? Sesquibicentennial? Is that what it's called? The 250? I don't know.
I never heard that one. That'd be even hard to say.
Yeah. Because next year's the 250th anniversary of the United States.
It'd just be easier to say 250 than trying to say, what was that? Sesquicentennial?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they won't. I don't know, Randy. All right, so I'm gonna change my mic settings because I'm gonna pull my camera over there. I don't like using my mic because it's a little more muffled, isn't it?
Well, sounds like him and Nathan. Sounds like him and Robert get along good. That sounds like something Robert would do.
Yeah. What do you think? Is this a little more muffled with my camera mic?
Depends on if you're looking at it or not.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you there.
Okay. All right. I knew I'd forget something. I knew I'd forget one thing.
We lost you, Robert. Next year. Yeah, dang it went quick. I remember the bicentennial, the 200th. That's sad. I was already married a year.
Gotta dig that junk.
Anthony says, "Are we going to watch Robert paint?"
Yeah.
Hey, that's not the exciting part, though, Anthony. We get to watch the paint dry. Steve ought to be coming. Steve 87th will be showing up.
Yeah, I was hoping Steve 87th would show up.
This is his favorite part.
Can you see what I'm doing? No?
Here, I'll fix you. Here. He's putting a little of that into a little of this and a little of that. And he's shaking it all around, doing the hokey pokey.
The hokey pokey. That's what it's all about.
Doing the hokey pokey.
Yep. All right.
Where are you going to spray at?
Huh?
Where are you going to spray at?
Where?
Where? I mean, you got finished product there. Well, you ain't going to spray paint on top of that, are you?
Here.
You got that all finished, don't you?
No, that's just primer.
Oh, I thought it was meant to be concrete.
Nope. It's just primer.
Don't you think you ought to move your train out of there?
I got it out. That's the good thing about airbrush is it's a little more precise. You know what? My paint's way too thin, but that's okay because I'll just pour some more in there.
Hiya, Dwight. How's it going, my friend?
Hold on. I'm gonna get. Oh, wait. Never mind. I got something right here. Got something right here to do it. Now I've primered it. Now I'm using raw umber. You've got to get all that goop off the bottom that settles on the bottom. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah. Yeah, the good thing about an airbrush is it's precise and you don't get a lot of overspray. I mean, you get a little bit, but not a lot. Plus, I can go heavier or lighter on some ties to give them a variation in color.
Nathan wants to know, do you ever spray paint your trains to make them more one color sometimes?
Make them what?
More than one color sometimes. Yes. I can answer that for him.
I guess I do. I don't.
You'd make them more. Look at your bicentennial train. That's about how many colors? You're gonna knock your paint over, brother.
12. No, that's empty. 12 colors.
12. There you go.
I like raw umber. Raw umber is a good color for both the rails and the ties. And then I come back and dust the ties with some medium rust. powder.
Nathan, I can answer that question for Robert. No, he doesn't feel limited. He loves what he does as far as the staying with his arrow and only having the trains that are for his arrow. He goes as far as the rolling stock is for that arrow, or it don't get run. So
Yep, I do.
his question was, Robert, for being part of typical, when he means prototypical, do you ever feel like you're limited? Sometimes even with trains you want to run that are not related to your era.
Hmm.
Nah.
The only time I feel limited is basically the other way. There's
Yeah.
times I'd like to run some passenger, which I'd have to go backwards to do that. Not nothing forward.
The respiratory real artist, the respiratory ain't bad. I have respiratory problems, and I can use an airbrush.
The what?
His question or his statement is, real artist says he tried an airbrush once upon a time, and the ex-wife hated it. Noise as well as her respiratory concern. The noise, it ain't that loud.
Yeah, and if you get a compressor that's got an air tank on it, you're going to have less noise too. So
Yeah, that's I got pretty much almost the same thing you got there. It ain't that loud. And as far as the respiratory goes, if you use acrylic paints, there ain't an issue. That's when you get into the enamel stuff. That's a little bit fun. He's a retired registered nurse. The respiratory concerns are a concern, my opinion. I'm just saying, I know I have one and I use it every so often, but I use strictly uh, the acrylic paints, the water based paint, and there's like no fumes at all from it. It don't do as, especially if you're doing gloss work, it 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 don't do as nice a job as the enamels, but that's a way. But some people it does bother.
you can see what I've got done so far, kind of.
I'm with you, Rusty. Rusty says he was tired yesterday and he's retired today.
He's so funny.
I agree, real artist. A lot of times I do use a brush for the same reason, and you know, I hate cleaning the airbrush when I'm done. That's my problem more than anything. I know if I don't, it will never work.
This would just take way too long using a brush. I'm not that patient.
I'm not that patient to paint them. The color they put on at the factory's fine for me, but that's me.
What?
But
What'd you say?
I says I'm happy with the color the factory puts on them, and
Oh,
I wouldn't paint them myself at all. That's just by the time you put down the ballast and everything. I mean, sure, it looks nice when you guys paint them like that, but I'm fine with it. That's it, Nathan. You said it right there. Slow progress and no rush. Right now, I'm working on something for Robert. Something I promised him a while back. Yep, patience of patience. Yes, sir, real artist. Mhm. New Ferris Railroad. Boy, how you
hey,
doing?
New Fenris, how you doing?
Kyle says there's 20 watching and 12 likes. I'm, I'm Nathan. I'm building Robert a dog run house. It's called a dog run house.
Dog trot.
Okay, dog trot, dog run. Depends if you kick the dog or not, if it runs or it trots. When I kick a dog, it runs. Andy says he thinks the paint's drying.
He does?
He said he thinks your paint's drying. Is that house for dogs? No, it was for people. They call it a dog trot. I don't know why they called it a dog trot house. Why did they call it a dog trot house?
Well, that
Because the
place
dog
in the
trotted
middle is
up
for
and
the
down
dog
the hallway.
to walk through. That's why.
Okay. PK and W Model Works. How you doing, my friend? You got to prove it first, there, Anthony. Lately, I haven't been kicking much of anything. I'm with you, Nathan. Up until I met Robert, I never heard of it either before.
What's that?
Dog trot houses.
Huh.
But there is such a thing. sent me a link with the pictures, so I don't know where
Yeah,
I
but
put them.
they're popular down south. You don't see them. You don't see them up north. They were built. They were built for the weather down south, for the heat and all that.
I think they built them so that when a tornado comes through and they fall down, they don't kill as many dogs. Dogs trot it off.
You funny. You so funny. You so funny.
Robert, do you live close to Jason? That's a question.
What's that?
Nathan wants to know if you live close to Jason.
About 4.5 hours.
New Ferris says it sounds like a shotgun house. Wonder what a shotgun house is.
No, a shotgun house is different. Shotgun house is is like you go in the front door and you have a room, and then a room behind that, and a room behind that with doorways all the way down the middle.
Oh,
That's a shotgun house.
this is like two little houses on a base with an airway in between the two little houses, so that when the air comes through, it cools the houses down. That's what it looks like. I know it's kind of hard, but you'll see it when my video comes out. Andy says he's an extreme bull sitter.
Okay.
Hi, James. You know you got the cookie because you were first to post. Tell him what kind of cookie you want. He's going to mail it to you. Even pay the surcharges and the tariffs. Where'd you disappear to? I hear the air compressor going, but I don't see you. You was moving along and you didn't adjust the camera. How
Nope.
dare you? How dare you?
How dare me?
Yeah. What paint are you using? James from Dundas Junction wants to know.
I am using a Model Master Raw Umber.
Raw Umber, Model Master, enamel paint.
Yes.
Yep. Todd Armstrong, how you doing tonight? He's got a different channel there, New Ferris. I forget what he calls it. He's just doing models now. That's probably why you haven't seen him lately.
Whoops.
Scale Model Garage. I think you're right. That is what I think he calls it. Pit Stop Model Garage. That's it. John got it. Good old John. He always got the right answer. Don't you, John? No, he's using a regular airbrush. Don't you hear the air compressor in the background? There, Bob. I'm laughing at you, John. I'm right. Well, I'd like to say belated to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day, belated. I hope you all had a good Father's Day. I even got a little bit of train stuff. I got a little light from my daughter. It's pretty cool. I'll have to get it and show you guys when it's my turn to come up, which is in 2 weeks. I have it over in my bedroom right now. I got this light. It's pretty cool how it uses LEDs and it gives you like a 3D effect. It's pretty cool. You'll have you know what, Nathan? And you'll have a blast doing it. It's just the thing is, it takes a little longer to scratch build than it does to put a kit together.
All right. I think my arm needs a break.
There you go. Vintage Dairy Queen for Father's Day. That's cool.
My arm needed a break.
What'd you get for Father's Day, Robert?
I got my wife gave me a DVD set of, you know, that show Last Man Standing. Have you seen that?
Yeah, with Tim Allen.
Tim Allen, yeah, she gave me that. Pretty cool.
Yeah, Tim Allen's funny.
Yeah.
I like listening to him.
Whew, my arm was getting tired. And I can go back and clean up some spots in a minute.
He says your painting looks super.
It does?
That's what Bob says from BK and W.
Yeah, so here's the. So you'll notice that I keep. Whoops.
Oh.
Little stand fell over on it. You notice I keep some spots lighter than others. So
Give you that effect,
yeah,
that dirty effect.
yeah, and some of them are more worn than others, and that kind of stuff.
Right.
So this will, once it dries, I dust the rails with some with the weathering powders, the rust colored ones, and that enough of it sticks. It doesn't make it rusty looking. It makes it look like metal. Because you can go too rusty.
Yeah.
But rails that are used aren't usually like orange rusty. They're more of a brown rust colored. But the dusting them with the weathering powder gives just enough difference between the rail and the ties.
Right. Bob wants to know, what's your next step?
That's the next step.
That's the next step.
Dusting them with the weathering powders.
So when do you put down the ballast?
After I dust it with the weathering powders, then I just spray a flat coat on it, clear coat, to hold the weathering powders on the rail, and then I ballast.
Yeah. Now, I got a question for you. Okay.
Uh-huh.
This is something that you say you're going to put a clear coat over the powders. How do you keep the powders from disappearing when you clear coat them?
Well, they don't completely because there's enough static charge. But you don't want the weathering powder to be so heavy that it looks orange. The rail looks orange. You just want it to give it that little bit of different tint than the ties have.
I know when I've used weathering powders for like rolling stock and stuff, and when I threw the clear coat on, it looked like I'd say 80% of what I weathered disappeared.
Yep, that's right, and that's the effect I really want on these rails.
Yeah, James wants to know, you used a clear coat with an airbrush?
No, just a spray can.
Just a spray can. That's what I thought, because that's what I think you told me to do.
Yeah, it'll knock most of the weathering powder off the rail, and that's on purpose. That's why I do it that way. Because I don't want it, like I said, I don't want it so orange rusty that it doesn't look right, because rails don't look orange.
That's right, New Fenris.
Then
comes the track cleaning part.
What's that?
Then comes the track cleaning.
Yeah, the track cleaning part's the fun part. So what I do to help the track cleaning part is I wipe Vaseline on top of the rails before I paint them.
Right.
And that it's not perfect, but it's helpful.
I'm with you, James. I can't use that in the house. If I'm doing rolling stock or something, I take it outside because I can't. They'll have me passed out up here. I can't handle the clear coat.
Well, I have my mask. See.
I'm conservative. I don't wear masks.
I only wear them when I'm painting.
Uh-huh.
Because it is such an enclosed space in here, and I've got solvent-based paints.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I know what it is to start feeling that real lightheadedness, and all of a sudden you're trying to make your way to the doorway and you don't make it, and you wake up in the back of an ambulance taking you to the hospital. It's not fun. Been there, done that.
All right, so you can see in that little bit of time how much I got painted.
Yeah, you did pretty good.
I mean, all the way here, all the way down to there. See
I've
how
seen
far?
videos of guys that just do it with a rattle can too.
Yeah, that would be too messy, I think. Plus, I don't have the control with a rattle can to make it darker and lighter in certain spots. So that's why I use the airbrush when I'm painting. Rails.
You don't know Robert, Bob.
What?
Here, I'll put it up on the screen for you. Unless it's a contest model, he won't touch it. It won't be touched. I use washes and dry brushing and not powders. Nothing beats the subtlety of powders though. But you
Yeah,
don't know Robert.
that's exactly why I use them on the rails because they are very subtle. But it gives just enough difference between the rail and the tie color, to make it look like one's metal and the other's woods.
A painter's respirator for non-acrylic paints. Yeah.
All right, let me turn my camera around.
Your wife's been making you pie, has she?
Not me.
No.
No.
Your side view there of your midsection there looks like you've been eating a lot of pie.
Whose shirt?
It's your shirt. Oh,
It's a little loose. That's what it is.
I'm just messing with you, brother. Like I got a lot of room to talk.
So this is my yard ladder.
Now, how hard is that on when you painting your switches there? And you're going to have that in your points and everything. You're going to have to really work at cleaning up the points and everything, aren't you?
Yep.
Oh,
But I don't go as heavy on the points, at that part, so I don't have as much to clean up. See, that's another good thing about an airbrush is I've got that fine control where I don't have to worry about getting it in the points.
I'll never wear plaid again, Floyd. Floyd said plaid adds weight.
And don't forget the camera adds 10 pounds too.
Lynn McCurdy. Lynn McCurdy wants to know how many rungs does your ladder have?
A lot.
You might lose me here, Robert, but it's really thunder busting here right now.
All right, well, I'll keep an eye out.
Man, I just looked out the window. Boy, it's really coming down. Cats and dogs. Yeah, I've seen guys do that too, Bob. But I'm with you on it. It's really not feasible to me for do the whole layout. I will tell you, I painted mine for the most part brown, but I didn't do it all at once. I just kind of painted brown, and then, if, matter of fact, you'll still see some of the blue from the foam underneath. No. Hey, Lynn, it's a 4-rung ladder, kind of short. Excuse me. Yeah, James, I come to think about it, I don't think I've ever seen a dull coat for an airbrush. I've seen gloss, clear coat, but I don't think I've ever seen a dull coat for the airbrush.
What?
Dull coat for your airbrush.
Oh yeah, yeah, they got them.
Well, he was asking where he could get it. James was.
Well, I mean, anybody that sells hobby paint.
Any place that sells hobby paints.
I even get them at Hobby Lobby.
Not the one that we went to. Testers makes it, Joe Rader says. Amazon has it.
Yep.
Amazon has it there, James. Joe Rader says that they got it. Yeah, Lynn, that makes perfect sense. That would explain a whole lot of things. It sounds like something Heath would use. Clear coat for the airbrush.
Yeah, Vallejo makes clear coat too.
Yeah. It's a matte varnish.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as what New Ferris says.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. You just don't want to use an oil-based paint.
You know, the other good thing about raw umber paint, take a box car, just like that. And if you want to do a quick weathering job on it, there you go. I got a weathered car that fast. And you can do that. You can, if you just want to do some quick weathering on a few cars, you can do that. You know, you can do 10 cars in 5 minutes. It just makes it look a little dirty, and it cuts down the plastic shine on the cars.
Floyd wants to know if anybody's going to Sparky's meet and greet in August. I know I won't be, just because there ain't no way I can swing it right now, but I'd love to. But that ain't gonna happen. You're getting some knee work or something done, James, that you won't be able to drive it.
What's that?
Oh, I was talking to James.
Uh,
He said that in August he might not be able to drive to go to Sparky's meet and greet. Bob says he believes that Valero and others have water-based lines which could be thinned with alcohol. I suspect they're dedicated thinners that are not toxic.
yeah, they do. They do. Vallejo has
Yeah, I think I even have some.
a matte varnish. Yes.
Yeah, I have a not varnish, but I have the thinner that they're thinner. That's and it has no odor at all to it, none to speak of.
Oh, are we already past 7 o'clock?
Yes, we're already past 8 o'clock. 8:05.
Wow. I got so busy painting, I didn't even think we
See
went
how
that far.
time flies? I wasn't even paying attention to the time.
Well, fine.
I wasn't. I was busy watching the chat for you.
Yeah,
That's my job.
that's your job, and you did an excellent job.
Of course I did. I always do my job well.
Well, gentlemen, sorry to say it's time to go. I know you enjoy watching paint dry, but
Hot Dog Andy says it's 1:05 a.m.
yeah.
What does he know?
Yeah.
You can see I started on my yard ladder here, so
Yep. Takes a little more time to do them turnouts, huh?
you do. Because you gotta get the stock rails and the frogs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, Kyle says it was a great show.
Well, thank you. I'm glad y'all showed up to watch paint dry. It's too bad Steve 87th wasn't here because it's his
Yeah.
favorite thing.
It was a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah. Always fun.
Yep.
Always fun. All right. Well, I guess I'll say goodbye to everybody.
All right.
I will.
Y'all have a good
Move
night.
my camera over here to say goodbye. There. It was fun. So, guys, don't forget to tune in next week to Dave Thurber at the Crooked River and Eastern.
Yep. Check out his video too that he did for on his layout.
His layout update, right?
Yeah, he did a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He surprised me. His engine house is looking great.
Yeah.
His engine house scene.
All right. We will see y'all later.
God bless everybody.
Take care.